Good afternoon, everyone. Rose here. Today I am reacting to very small segments of Foodie Beauty's live stream that she did last night called He Is in Love with Me. So this was the last live stream that she did for the night. And to recap everybody, for those who are not completely caught up. So Foodie Beauty packed an overnight bag and she went out to the Orange Tulip. I have a working theory here that I'm going to put in front of all of you. So all the running around that Foodie Beauty did yesterday, going to the weed store, buying multiple bottles of liquor. My theory is that she was preparing herself to go to Montreal, that she had full intention to go to Dee Dee's house and maybe smooth things over with Dee Dee. And it backfired because Dee Dee did not let her in the house. She wasn't allowed to stay. I'm not quite sure what Foodie Beauty had planned, if she planned to spend the night with Nader or spend the night over at Dee Dee's house and just get drunk with all of them and put herself in a position where they were all would be inebriated and she couldn't go home. But whatever her plan was, whatever it might have been, she was prepared to spend the night somewhere, and that's why she took her overnight bag. So she gathered up the liquor, she gathered up the weed, she went to Montreal. Don't know what exactly went down, but whatever happened, she didn't stay in Montreal. She came home and she did this live stream. And before I even looked at the live stream, people were messaging me and saying, Foodie Beauty is saying she's going to spill the tea. My way of thinking was, well, let's hold on a minute, because her and Nader both like to clickbait everybody and get everybody excited. And if she's still wrapped around Nader, she is not going to spill any heavy-duty tea. You know, Foodie is spiteful and she's mean, but when it comes to Nader, she will keep her mouth shut if she thinks there's a chance with him. And she's not going to spill any heavy-duty tea when it comes to Nader. So I was watching the live stream, and shocker, there was no actual tea. She came home, she ate a bunch of food, a lot of it. She was extremely high, and she just rambled about pretty much everything like she always does. But I looked through the almost 2-hour stream. I found 3 points of interest. So we're going to cover those 3 points, move on to the comments section, cover the comments, and call it a day. We're just going to get to the meat and potatoes and leave the rest alone. There's really no sense in reacting to every single minute here, because it's just non-content garbage. You know, those of you that want to keep up with Foodie Beauty, I'm just going to give you what you need to know if you're interested, and let's just cut out all the other stuff. Let's cut out the scraps that don't even need to be discussed. All right, so let me just share the screen so you guys can see Miss Foodie. All right, there she is. So you can pretty much tell that, you know, she's 3 sheets to the wind. She mentions in the stream that she took an edible. There could be multiple things going on, but she's in a weird mood tonight. Like one minute looks like she's ready to fall asleep. The next minute she has energy. It's hard to tell what substances she might have took. She might be taking multiple ones. But here she is, and the first thing I want to cover has to do with her sub count on YouTube. So let's get to.
Thank you.
Oh yes, in the beginning of the stream, Pete wandered into her stream. He didn't stay very long, but he's been doing that a lot lately with Foodie, just randomly just wandering into her stream and standing behind her with his arms crossed like some sort of sulky gargoyle, and then he wanders away. He doesn't bring anything to her stream. He just makes his presence known. Pete, if you're looking for tea on Foodie, if you want to know what's going on, the best thing you can do is go to your room, act like you're filming a video, watch her stream on your computer, and then you'll find out more, because she's not going to say anything that you might need to hear in front of you. She's always going to wait till you're out of the room, and she's going to do it behind your back. Thinking that she's going to say something when you're directly behind her, that's just stupid. She'll never do that. Anyway, let's keep going.
Oh well, there's no one here. I have love news. They're happy for you if you're weak. I'm not weak.
Oh, yes, you are.
I have some tea.
And I think if there was anything that would be considered tea in this live stream, the tea that she gave up really wasn't tea. It was unflavored sour Kool-Aid that nobody cared about. Honestly, the tea was that she saw some guy twice and Nader didn't know. That was the extent of the tea. Foodie, that is not tea. That is not like a clutch your pearls gotcha moment. That's just stuff that you made up. You and your imaginary wannabe boyfriends.
There is a notification? Chantal, do you ever feel like driving your Kia off the orange tulip ball? No, that would be terrifying. I would probably climb it if I could. Like, if I ever get to 1 million subscribers, clock it. I am. What does clock it mean? I'm like so behind in the time. Such a fucking boomer. What does boomer mean?
Well, you know what, Foodie? As far as your million subscribers, you would have been at 100K well before now, but you just keep screwing up. You keep ticking people off. You'll gain a few, you'll lose a few. You would have been at 100K plus had you played your cards right. But because of your toxic content and making people angry, and because of you scamming people, you're never going to reach 100K. Never. You might gain 500, then they'll lose 1,000. I mean, you just keep dropping your numbers. You're not really gaining. And if we're going to be honest, really honest, anybody looking at your channel and seeing your sub count, something everybody should know. When you look at a big channel, when you look at a person's sub count, not every person who is subbed is an active account. A lot of that number you may see, that could be dead accounts that are no longer active, but still count towards the number. So Foodie's got 91K, allegedly. That's 91K that people were subscribed to her. But that does not mean there's 91,000 people that are actively subbed to her. And the proof of that is in the amount of views that she gets for her videos when she live streams. She barely gets over 1,000 people when she live streams. Also, something of note, tonight, while she was doing her live streaming, I counted the number of people, okay, that were in her stream. I counted the number of VIBers. Y'all want to guess how many people there were? Oh, about 15 people. So a 91K channel that gets barely over 1,000 people watching her at any given time. And because she does VIP only chats, there were 15 people in the room, and that was it. That was it. 15 people, 15 VIPers. When once upon a time, she had between 400, 500 people sub to her VIP section. So isn't that sad? 15 people talking to her. That was it. That was all. You'll never get to 100K the way you're going, Foodie. You'll just be stumbling along, making the money that you make. You'll never get to 100K. Never. Never. Not with this toxic content.
Yeah, I'm such a boomer. I don't even know what boomer means. Okay, clock it. The house. I didn't eat my chili yet, Emerald. I'm going to. I have crackers too. Fuck that Wendy's, you fucking crackerless Wendy's. Am I stoned? I can't tell.
You know what, Foodie? Don't get mad at Wendy's. It's weird right now, y'all. This is something you may or may not know, just some random fact. Right now, there is like a shortage of saltine crackers. I am not kidding. I'm not joking. This is not a prank. I know this because myself and somebody else that I know trying to run around and get saltine crackers. The only place you can get saltine crackers is on, say, like Amazon, and they're extremely expensive. Imagine that. Saltine crackers being expensive. There's a shortage of saltine crackers. It's insane. So don't get mad at Wendy's, Foodie. It's not their fault. There's a saltine cracker shortage everywhere.
I have some tea, and nobody knows this tea except for you guys. So late night club, you're gonna get it. Monty, you got your alarm on? Fucking get up! Get out of bed with your friggin' lover you're cheating on me with, you fucking infidel. I would never date Foodie Beauty.
Nobody would ever date you. So you know what, Foodie? I don't get you. One minute you're mad at Monty, you don't like his panels, and the next minute you're shouting him out on your channel saying, "Get your butt out of bed, Monty." You got to make up your mind. Do you want the guy's attention or not? Do you like Monty? Do you hate Monty? I mean, how do you really feel? I'm curious. So that's the first timestamp. Let's move on to right about here where she talks about her fantasy. Foodie Beauty has a fantasy when it comes to Nader, her fantasy life with him. So let's move on to that.
With this person, myself, so I don't feel that way yet. Yeah, it's Bizu. Yeah. I love him so much. I think. Yes, I do. Miss Gumdrop on douche. No.
All this fake crying. Stop it.
You know what my fantasy is? If you really want to know. This will never happen. This is a scenario that's virtually fucking impossible. So of course, like he and I would be a loving couple.
Well, that you're starting out your fantasy with something that would never happen. We are a loving couple. Well, that ain't ever gonna happen because he don't love you. If he loved you, he wouldn't be taking your money and making you pay for his love. So right off the bat, you're starting out your fantasy with things that will never, ever, ever, ever happen.
And we would go regularly to Egypt to visit his big family because I don't have a very large family.
Okay, so you want to go to Egypt to visit his family, Foodie. You don't even see your own family. You neglect your own family, and they're not in Egypt. All you got to do is get your big butt in the car and go see them. You don't bother with your own family. What an insult to your own family. The fact that you have a family and you don't even care about them. But here you are fantasizing about going to see somebody else's family in a faraway country. Yeah, I can't see you getting on a plane and going to Egypt with or without Nader. And even if you got there, girl, you're getting for a culture shock. You're in for a shock because of the different things going on in Egypt, the culture, the people. You know, while you're in Egypt, you can't be running around being vulgar. They won't allow that there. You can't trust me. before you go to a place like Egypt, you would have to study upon the culture and the people and know how to behave and know how to dress. And that's just not you. You're not a person that if you go to a country that is not your own, that you will take the time to learn the language a little bit, learn about the culture of the people and the traditions and how to behave and mannerisms and how not to offend people. You would get in trouble real quick in Egypt, let's put it that way.
And we would make babies every single night.
What? You do what? So you're over there fantasizing about still about getting pregnant? I'm going to say it again for y'all. I think there's two reasons why she's talking about this pregnancy nonsense. One, because Nader wants a family someday. Although, to be honest, he doesn't need a family either. He is just, he's not in the mindset to be a good father. Maybe he comes from a family where, the male offspring are supposed to have kids. I don't know his family. I'm just speculating here. But he's not really in a mindset to be a dad, to be a responsible parent. I mean, he's into that mindset of, I'm just going to coast and grift women as I go along. So he's not dad material. But I think she wants kids because Nader has talked about kids. And also knowing Foodie and her manipulative ways, she wants to be forever linked to Nader in whatever way she could think of. She'd be one of those women that she would vagina trap him by getting pregnant. And that way, if they had a kid together, she'd always have a way to talk to him. She is always trying to think of ways to keep him around, and so he'll keep her around. But that would be the only reason why she would have a child. No other reason. To vagina trap him.
And take them on camel rides.
I don't know a lot about Nader's family. As I understand it, he's not a practicing Muslim. I don't know if his family, if they are non-practicing Muslims, but I know that that might be part of their culture. As I understand it, the Muslim culture is about being modest, being very respectful to the family, to neighbors, to people, not being loud and vulgar. Foodie doesn't have that ability to be respectful of other people's cultures and traditions and be mannerly. The family would be horrified by her. Let's put it that way.
It's literally impossible. Oh, hi, Gail! Are you scared? No, I'm not on LSD.
And that might be part of the reason why he's not claiming her. Because she is not someone that his family would approve of. Not at all. So she's loud, she's rude, she's vulgar, she's gross, she doesn't take a bath. She is absolutely everything that his family would not approve of. So maybe because of him knowing his family and knowing how they would feel, to keep the family from getting angry at him, he's not going to claim her. If he claims her, there might be a big to-do about that.
People check. I'm just one fucking edible. Wheelchair. My credit? Why?
Your credit sucks. Oh, stop with the fake crying. I'm done with that. Okay, so this is like one last clip, just one last one. So we're going to go to right about here. Now, y'all have heard me talk on my channel about, I've said to everybody, this whole thing with Nader, Chantal, Dee Dee, and Pete, it's all one big scam, and they're all in on it. And she pretty much confirms it here. She pretty much just says it out loud right about here. So let me just get to the part real quick. Okay, we're going to start right about here. So y'all just listen in carefully.
He doesn't want to compliment me, he says, because, like, it's kind of right. Like, why would he compliment me after, like, I think he pressed charges on me for victim with me. What? I didn't hear anything. He does say, yeah, he does say nice things like that to me. Of course.
Okay, hold on a second. Before we get to that part, I'm seeing something in chat that I find interesting. Ocean says, what video did he tell Dee to shut it about Chantal because he doesn't want to lose the apartment? So I guess that he did a live stream, and I know there's one part that I was shown by my good friend Erie Pepperoni. Erie pointed it out. There was a video, there was a live stream that Nader did where Dee Dee was off camera, and Nader got very angry with Dee Dee to the point where he swung his chair around to where the chair was facing the camera. And he thought because the chair was in front of the camera that nobody could see what he was doing. But Erie showed the clip to me where you could see Nader get out of his chair, like really, really angry. And you saw the camera shaking. Well, like the kind of force that somebody does when they're getting up, like they're angry and they're getting up out of the chair. You see him move across the room where Dee Dee is. He disappears off camera, and then Dee Dee leaves the room. So I don't know if he said something to her or something physical might have happened, but she left the room. And then the video kind of ends there. Like Dee Dee was about to say something after that, and then he cut her off. So I don't know what's going on in the house with Dee Dee and Nader, but something happened between them where he got really, really angry to the point where he basically jumped up out of his chair, and when he went over to her like he had a reason to get up, like he was going to do something. And then she leaves the room to go to the bathroom right after that. So take what you will from that. But let's get on with the rest of this.
But how things work in real life, the reality is things work faster than what people might present to you. Because he is right. He is smart when it comes to that. Like, you let your audience, like, you let them ease back into the idea that this problematic duo are reconciling after what I have spent my entire fucking year shitting on this person, and then, hey, I'm in love with him this weekend. I don't fucking.
So she pretty much confirmed it right there, y'all. What did I say? What did I say? What I say? I've been saying to people that those two, meaning Chantal and Nader, they sit down together and they have conversations about what's going to happen on both their channels, what content to do for the audience to get people riled up, to get them spending money. They have conversations about what drama they can bring on to YouTube, what angles to take, what plots to bring up. She just confirmed it right there. Was I lying? Nope. You got two scammers that found each other. One of them happened to be on YouTube. The one who was on YouTube said, hey, let me bring you into my scam. And then you can scam people too on your platform on YouTube. And now that they're involved with each other, they play off each other for the benefit of both their channels. And that's why she will never, ever stop talking about him. Because as long as she does, she makes money on her channel and she keeps his channel relevant. People are going to be going over there just out of curiosity. So she's always going to be talking about Nader. She's never, ever going to shut up. Because Nader knows, without her talking about him, his channel is pretty much dead in the water. Ain't nobody going over there for his trashy cooking. Ain't nobody caring. You know, she's got to talk about him for people to be interested in him, to keep him relevant. And she's also made the comment on her live streams that she can talk about Nader, and for her, it's profitable. Those words came out of her mouth. So anybody that's wanting her to shut up about Nader, thinking one day it'll happen, I'm sorry to tell you, that day will never come. It'll never happen. She's always going to keep bringing him up because she's the employer, he's the employee, and Chantal has made a little monopoly over there. So by talking about one of her employees, that's just better for her brand and for her company, her little mini reality show, drama, soap opera company. So that's it for all the video clips. The rest of the content is garbage. Let's go with the comments. I like hearing from the people. Chantal Stalker says, I can assure you, Nader doesn't care who blows your back out as long as you're paying him. Yeah, he don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that Nader is relieved if Chantal goes and gets her jollies elsewhere. That means that's a very unpleasant part of his duties that he doesn't have to do. You know, if somebody wants to take that unpleasant aspect onto themselves, that just makes him happier because then all he has to do is take money from Chantal. He doesn't have to deal with the unpleasantness of seeing her naked and pleasuring her. He can just breeze right past that. Let somebody else do it if they're desperate enough. That's just one thing I'm sure he does not look forward to, is dealing with her on that level. Miss Powers says, Nader out here already inviting women over to the apartment he doesn't even have yet. Love that for you, Chantal. Yeah, I know, I'm sure that's going to happen. If he gets a place, Chantal will not be the only female caller. He's going to use that for a bachelor pad. And she's going to get mad. There's going to be all kinds of drama about that. Kat says, here's the test. Don't give him any money for at least 1 month. You'll never do it because you're afraid it would reveal the truth. A lot of people have told her that. You want to test to see if this guy really loves you? Stop giving him money. Stop buying him things. She will never, ever do that test because she knows deep down why he's there. He's there to get paid. She'll never put that test on him because he would never talk to her. But Nader isn't stupid. He knows that he's got her by the balls, that she's addicted to him, that she's desperate, she's thirsty. Here's the crazy thing. Chantal wants control of Nader so bad. She wants to be the one that he chases. She wants that, and yet she won't do the opposite of what she's doing to make that happen. If she wanted to be the one that he chases her, that he's calling her, this is what she would have to do. She would have to be a completely different person. She would have to be a boss bitch. On every level, be a boss bitch. She would have to have a clean house because Nader does not like a messy, disgusting house. She would have to take a shower. She would have to be more responsible with her finances. She would have to take her power back by being a powerful woman. She's not a powerful woman. She's weak. She's very easy to get stuff out of. If she showed that she was a boss bitch, taking care of herself, going places, doing things, Nader would probably chase her a little bit and say, "Oh my God, like, she's got all the power. I'm interested." The fact that she's morbidly obese, she doesn't take care of her health, she's filthy, she's dirty, she's desperate. If you don't have respect for yourself, how can you expect other people to have respect for you? You got to give it to yourself first before you expect it from other people. So Chantal, if you want that dream life where Nader is chasing you, you've got to give him a reason to chase. You've got to be that woman that you put off the vibe of I am somebody and I'm going places and I'm doing things and I'm not going to put up with bullshit. That's how you get respect. By taking care of yourself in every way, taking care of everything around you in every way. You're not that person. You are desperate and thirsty, and he knows this. Salva says, the delusion is so hilarious. I'm screaming with laughter. Never stop. This is just too damn funny. Woe Betide says, this is so disturbing on so many levels. The fact that she actually receives money for this behavior blows my mind. What a world we live in, eh? Burp on, Chantal, burp on. Yeah, she's an anomaly of YouTube. She does the most toxic behavior and she receives a lot of money. It's so upside down. Into the Wild Blue says, I've never seen in my adult life such a train wreck. So congratulations to you and Nader. I hope you have the best train wreck ever. You deserve it all. Yeah, I love that for her. Living Reflection says this whole stream was for the felon, not the viewers. She wanted him to hear about some guy she made out with in a bowling alley parking lot. I wouldn't have done that when I was a teenager. So who does that as an adult? And now he said he loves her. Did you hear that, felon? Motorcycle guy loves her, so you better move fast. Yeah, you know what the whole live stream was about? She went to Montreal. She had the intention of staying over and drinking with Dee Dee and Nader. She got rejected. They sent her home. So she immediately turned on her camera because she wanted to get Nader's attention. She was saying things all through the stream to get his attention because she wanted him to call her. And it never happened during the stream. Her phone never rang. So she was trying to manipulate him from afar, and it backfired. He didn't call, he didn't care. Lilu says this whole act was purely cokey. The simpering little baby voice, the coy looks, the tall tale of another man loving her. You don't need someone loving, you need therapy and a lot of it. Well, she'll never get it, Lilu. Never. Deanna says, did anyone else crack up at that? He said he only shows his soft side for people I love. That never happened. She makes up these stories as long as she goes along. Just like the hilarious story about the stuffed animal he gave her. That was another big fish story. Yeah, the stuffed animal she probably bought at the dollar store, trying to play it off like he bought it for her. Rosewater says, if you think Nader getting an apartment of his own will get Dee Dee out of his life, you are so sadly delusional. You do remember how much he willingly had her over when he had his last place, right? And it won't even matter if you pay for it or have your name on the lease. He will invite her over and any other woman he wants to, regardless of your feelings about it. That's a proven fact. You have zero control. Honestly, I think that Foodie Beauty just wants him away from Dee Dee. She doesn't want him around Dee Dee. And she also wants him closer to her, so that might be another motivation. Lauraland says, even if Koki is not sleeping with Dee Dee, he is. That doesn't mean he wants you. He's embarrassed to be seen with you as well. We saw in the botanical garden video. That is not the behavior of someone who's in love. When he's out with Dee Dee, he at least walks by her side, indicating some level of respect. So I didn't watch the botanical garden video. I'm sure Chantal's feet were tore up because she was wearing the wrong shoes, but it doesn't seem like he wanted to acknowledge her being around. He wanted to put some space between them. Little Kitten says, question, do you realize he won't touch you unless he's drunk or high? Let that sink in. No money, no booze, no drugs. Bye-bye, Twiggy. Only wants that cash, lady. Let's see. Gigi, oh, doggone it, I skipped ahead. So sorry. Let me go back. Gigi says, who in their right mind would find normal to have sex in a parking lot with a perfect stranger at the age of 40? Yeah, that's just kind of gross. I mean, if you're going to do some stuff, take it to a room. Don't do it in a parking lot. Ah, Princess Darkness says, Dee Dee made a point of saying, I'm washing my sheets. Wonder who that was directed at. Probably Chantal with her dirty, dirty sheets. Callie's lady says he does. Do you feel the loneliness and empty when you leave him at Dee Dee's to drive home alone? You know that you do. Love that for you. Loretta says he loves you so much, he sends you back down a long, dark road in the middle of the night. No concern for your safety or if your car will make it. It's the little things that are so telling. People who truly love you worry about you. I don't know if he and Dee Dee will ever be in a relationship, but he definitely cares for her and adores her. Things he's never shown for you. It's not there, and no matter how long you try to force it, it will never happen. He will let you buy him things and he will sleep with you, but there are no feelings for you in his heart. He doesn't have to say a word, and that is painfully and obviously clear to everyone but you. Oh, and he and Dee Dee are definitely intimate. That is obvious too, honey. Come on now. Yeah, they obviously are, but she wants to pretend like, oh, they're not. Let's see. Let me look for another good compliment. Jamie Reynolds says, so he says he can't give you compliments because you press charges on him. But going out to eat and hanging out with you is okay. Make it make sense. He will never give her a compliment because he doesn't care for Chantal. He's not attracted to Chantal, but he'll be along for the ride if she wants to buy food or go somewhere. I love this comment. Susanna says, all of you who are saying he only likes you because you give him money, Chantal, need to stop wasting your breath. That's not the issue here. The issue here is Chantal knows that and doesn't care. She's a lunatic. That's the least of her worries. Her mental health, hygiene, super morbid obesity, addictions, the list goes on. Just enjoy the content. I don't watch her when she is jolly, Chantal. I watch the crashes, and there are plenty. Just enjoy the entertainment, save your breath with everything. Yeah, she knows all these things, she just doesn't care. And that's why I have no sympathy. If she doesn't care for herself, why should I care? I'll save my care for people who need it. Let's see. Looking for another good one. Little Kitten says, love how he has to go to city hotels so he won't be seen with her. What's that like? Fun? Yeah, the humiliation is real. When a guy hates you so much that the only place he'll go with you is a seedy motel, he doesn't want anybody seeing him going into a room with you. 1 hour, 11 minutes. CG says, a Dr. Phil moment as she tries to normalize her grifting felon's money grabbing. And if she could stop shoveling food in her mouth for 1 minute so the sentences could run together. I know it's annoying. Just Trying to get anything out of Chantal while she's trying to eat, it's aggravating. Ooh, Gabby Gab says, Natter is the Nashi. You feel awful after. You know it isn't good for you. You keep staying, you'll stop. You can't stay away. It's instant gratification from the things that feel good for the moment but are damaging in the long haul. So yeah, Natter is kind of like her Nashis. I agree. Summer Flower says he has never said a kind word about you, and his body language screams he's uncomfortable and embarrassed to be seen with you. If your stance is that it's because he's a private person, then how do you explain his behavior with Dee Dee? He speaks very highly of her and interacts with her in a totally different way. Nader does not like Chantal. He hates Chantal, and I'm sure he hates any moment he has to spend in her company. If he could get away with just sticking out his hand and her putting money in it and walking away, I'm sure he'd do that. People telling her to cut him off financially to test him. Patricia says this video was just Chantal going back and forth from trying to manipulate Nader back to trying to manipulate her audience. I passed being disgusted by her a long time ago. Now I just laugh at her bad attempt to come across as an actress. Yeah, it was all about her manipulating her audience and Nader in this one. Talking to him at the same time trying to make herself look pitiful in front of people. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Let's see. Amanda says you stopped in like 3 different drive-throughs and still have to stuff your face when you get home. Wow. Yeah, because she's got a problem with food and she's catering to the feeder fetish idiots. That's why she does it. They give her money. Oh, Ninja Monkey says she sounds as disinterested in what Pete is saying as Nader sounds disinterested in her when she speaks. The irony in that. You know, Pete walks in the room and she's just rolling her eyes like, why are you here? Nader pretty much treats her that way, like, why are you here? Stop talking. And see, everybody talking about motorcycle guy. Sherry says, instead of brushing your wigs and stuff, pay attention to your cats. They might want a brushing too. I have had a homeless cat for 8 months now. I love it and take really good care of it. Amen. You know, she's got long hair cats. You should be brushing them out daily. And when you don't brush a long hair cat, they have a tendency to develop mats. And those can be really painful, especially if the mats go all the way down to the skin. And that can cause wounds and that can cause skin infections. But she doesn't care about her cats at all. Little Kitten says, no one ever likes my boyfriends. Ma'am, you accuse this man of SA. What is there to like? Nothing, because he's not your boyfriend. You're still a liar, and this isn't high school. You're almost 40. And he's not even your boyfriend. Chantal, he's not your boyfriend. You're paying him to be around you. That's not a boyfriend. That is a paid companion. You know, you're having all these relationship problems and you're not even in a real relationship. That's the nutty part about it. Sweet F says he feels if you're living with another man, he can live with another woman. Yeah, they both have quote unquote roommates. Although she and Pete are not intimate, he's an ex. So if she's living with an ex, why can't he live with Dee Dee? I mean, Dee Dee's not even like a ex-girlfriend. They're friends, friends with benefits, whatever you want to call them. So, you know, Pete's has always been a bone of contention with what's going on with her and Nader. But even if Pete's were out of the picture, Nader still wouldn't want her. He just doesn't like the idea of another man benefiting off of Chantal's money. He wants to be the only one that benefits off her money. Uh, Third World says, how do you picture yourself in your family fantasy with Nader? Are you 450 pounds like you are now? Or do you imagine yourself not looking like an egg? Okay, I want to address this comment. So during this live stream, there was someone, a VI Beezer, her name was Cynthia Rancher, who was making threats at another Beezer by the name of Miss Holly. And I was reading the chat. And this person, Cynthia Rancher, was threatening to dox Miss Holly. And this person's backing them up, saying, they said, it's definitely time to finish the Miss Holly docs at Cynthia Rancher. Let me know if you need help. I'm about to leave Girl World. So that would be a good note to go out on. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Look, I don't like the VIBs. I think a lot of them are enablers and they're funding all this bullshit. But nobody should dox anybody. Just because you have an opinion about something on the internet and you may not like somebody's opinion or who they are, that gives you no right to dox them. People have personal lives, they've got families, they've got jobs. Nobody should be going out of pocket and doxing anybody just for having an opinion. So all of you, the people on Chantal's channel are encouraging someone to get doxed. I don't agree with that. And this person, Miss Holly, I guess the Kiwi farmers are clocking her and saying that she's given $1,500 to Foodie. Well, Miss Holly, you're an idiot for giving her that much money, but I still don't agree with the doxing. I don't agree with it. But this person, Cynthia Rancher, getting onto Chantal's chat and encouraging someone to get doxed, I just think that's bullshit. Let's see. Looking for another good comment. Everybody's going nuts about, look, he doesn't love you. He will never love you. Let's see. I'm interested in this Aries person. You know what? Screw that. That's a lot. I'm not here to read. Dang, this comment's long. I think I'll show less. I think I'll breeze past that one. It's too much. I got all day for a book. Let's see. Baseball Nan says, darting eyes back and forth, lying. I'm not sure I've ever heard her speak truth. And this romance is so stuck in high school mode. Is she an essay liar? She has no clue. Yeah, this is all made up, fake, phony drama, high school drama, soap opera drama stuff all mixed together. And she does it on purpose to drive people nuts and to make money. Oh, I love this. BBW 420 Latina says, why are you alone then if he's so into you? Exactly. If you're alone, that means he's not that into you. And people, if a man loves a woman, he will move mountains. He will do whatever he has to do to be near her, talk to her. If you're alone, that means he's not that into you. He's not interested. Let's see. Princess Darkness says, LMAO, you expect us to believe that he got an apartment all by himself and has nothing to do with you? LOL. All I can say is I can't wait for the breakdown when you realize all the women he is having over while you pay the rent, including Dee Dee. So is that confirmation that she actually got the apartment? Is that like a halfway confirmation? Because it kind of sounds like it. Cornbread says, if you want Nader to claim you, all you have to do is cut him off financially and stop talking about him so his channel dies. Yeah, she could easily do that, but she's in love. MWA says, new names for Dee Dee and Chantal, Tweedle D and Tweedle Dumb. That's funny. That's some funny stuff right there. I don't care who you are. Random viewer says, Nader is getting the apartment. Is that the lie you're feeding Pete so he doesn't freak out? You'll leave him high and dry once you're settled in with Nader. We just all want to get over this. But you're the only one starting the drama. Girl, bye. I'm telling y'all, I can already see what's about to happen. So if Nader did get the apartment, maybe he and Chantal will be talking and doing like a test run with her going over there and spending time. And if things are good enough, she'll start moving her stuff in. And then if she does move in, maybe for a couple of months, she might pay the rent of the villa. But then there's going to come a point where Nader gets in her ear and says, why are you paying for a place that you're not even staying there? Just let it go. And he's very persuasive with Chantal, and she will leave Pete's high and dry. But a lot of people are saying, poor Pete's, poor Pete's. You know what I say, and forgive my language? Fuck Pete's. Fuck that guy. Seriously. I got no sympathy for him. I don't. For several reasons. One, for the way he treats BBJ. He's a complete jerk to BBJ. He's been abusive to BBJ. I'm sorry. You're abusive to animals, and I'm going to feel sorry for you because you get put out on the street? No. 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 He likes to walk up to BBJ and grab on her head and say, no mercy. Well, isn't it funny how words sometimes that we say come back and haunt us? So you go up to BBJ and say no mercy. Well, life is going to have no mercy with you if you end up on the street. Another reason why I have no mercy for Pete, because he's a grown-ass man. And he has been through this before with Chantal. This is not his first rodeo this way. You know, she and Pete were together for 5 years, and she put him in financial ruin. She cheated on him, and she left him. And he's watched this whole thing go down between her and Nader. And she's way more obsessed with Nader than she ever was with BB. He knew this was coming. He had to know. He had to know the moment that she started getting wrapped around Nader that he was on borrowed time, that the sand in the hourglass was slipping away. So he's been watching her get all wrapped up around Nader, and it's only getting worse. The warning signs were there. He just decided to bury his head in the sand and pretend like nothing's wrong. He's a grown man, and he knew this day was coming. He knew, and he did not do anything to help himself. He could have gotten a job, got his own money, put away a little nest egg. He did not prepare. He could have, but he didn't. All he did was go to his room and stay in his room and just pretend like nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. Well, guess what? Everything is wrong, bro. Everything's wrong in your world. You're an almost 40-year-old man living off a woman just like Nader. And guess what? If you put everything that is your life on somebody else's shoulders, at some point the weight gets too much and they want to get rid of it. You're essentially dead weight to Chantal. You are useless. You don't contribute anything. There's nothing about you that she can take advantage of anymore. Your credit is shot. You don't have any money. There's nothing you could offer her. You're just dead weight. And so she's going to get rid of you. And slowly she's moving in that direction. And if people came to your chat and let you know that, all this talk about her moving out and you're nervous now, good, good. I'm glad you're nervous. I'm glad you're starting to wake up. It's something you should think about. It's something you should do something about and not wait till last minute, because your roommate, Foodie, she is that person. She doesn't like confrontation. How you're going to find out that she is not going to pay rent anymore is she's going to move her stuff out and she's going to be at Nader's house, their place. And here, how she's going to do it is She's not going to tell you in person. She's going to send you a text message or an email letting you know. She's going to do it from afar. So she doesn't have to deal with your hurt feelings, your shock, your surprise, your sadness. She's going to be a coward and she's going to run from that. And she's going to leave you in the gutter again. So yeah, time to wake up, Pete's. Time to wake up. Time to get nervous. Time to wake up and realize that your situation is very shaky and you got to do something. But if you end up in the gutter, I don't feel bad for you because you lived in a house, you contributed nothing, you did nothing, you couldn't even be bothered to do housework, you didn't take care of the cats. All this time you could have been building up a nest egg of your own, doing something. You didn't. So no mercy for you, bro. You were mean to BBJ. She's sick, she's old. Shame on you. Maybe what's about to happen is your karma for doing that. Anyway, so that's it for this React video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. Y'all take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.